something else in my book, something deeper and not at all concerned with the affairs of men.
One of the kind of grounded political thinkers you reference is James Harrington and like the Republican radicals, and this idea of a universal militia, which really is the basis of the Second Amendment when you dig down to it.
Absolutely.
What does that mean in the modern context to you?
So the Second Amendment, if we're being honest,
Yeah.
comes from this neo-Republican tradition, from a controversy in Republican politics, as a reaction to monarchy that has nothing to do with our current concerns, right?
Right.
We are decadents, we are provided for, a political economy and division of labor have seen to it that we don't really feel the need to be our own farmers, our own soldiers, and really like whole civic beings in the way Republican theory of the 18th and 19th century saw that we might be. The early Republic of America is gone, and those Republican radicals are having a conversation we don't even understand. But one of its lingering effects was written into our document, and it was that all men, all freeholders would have military-grade weapons. They would form the basis of the defensive forces of the country so that there wouldn't be a standing army or a mercenary force, and so that we would have a better moral economics, civic structure that would be less prone to a kind of corruption that could create military forces that could then overturn the country. It almost makes no sense at all anymore, and in fact, even the good Second Amendment literature calls it embarrassing or terrifying, but it's here. And almost like in the work of Agamben, almost completely unique in history, the founders wrote in a duty to resistance and a right to military-grade hardware into the founding documents. Incredible to me.
The governments control nuclear weapons and other high-grade weaponry, so what sense does it make to even have everyone armed? Does it matter?
If I want to put my liberal hat on, I can say, sure, governments control nuclear technology, but as the big lawsuit I have against the State Department demonstrates, governments have never controlled certain calibers of weapons from their birth. They've never actually controlled the people's right to keep and bear arms. That's an Anglo-American tradition that was always first in the hands of the people. So you could say, like, well, we live in a high-tech age, a post-Cold War age of really incredible technology that the government controls from birth, but that's never been true of the firearm. Perhaps the technological moment then begins to make you question access to the firearm, but it's never been easier to make these things, and it's always been easy to make them. But let me take my liberal hat off. Let me go back to this neo-Republican stuff. I claim that it doesn't matter what the origins of the Second Amendment were. With the internet, we can transform this thing into duty to resistance on a global scale, right to resistance on a global scale. And we don't even need to use the words rights or duty. If it's simply a fact that the internet serves guns now, this is just a point of political life.
You're
going to get hurt.
Been dead, done that.
Guns aren't the answer.
Then you're not paying attention.
Should I dial it back?